So when it comes to Kali, people are always like, more speed, more power. How do I strike faster? How do I strike with more power? And if you're just training striking mechanics alone, that's going to help, right? I mean, that's going to be like the core of where your speed and where your power comes from, as long as you are actually developing the 12 striking mechanics, okay, the principles. If you don't know the 12 striking mechanic principles, I teach them all in very in-depth detail in Kali Center School. So I got the link to that below. It's $15 a month if you want to really dive deep in this stuff. But the other thing, so, speed and power are really important when it comes to Kali. I mean, they're 2 out of 3 of the combat attributes. But it's not just speed and power, it's also endurance, right? You have to be able to endure at that pace. That's really important, which means in order to endure in the body, to be able to endure that level of performance at that speed, delivering that power, then we need to also be focusing on the strength of our body, but not just the strength in the belly of the muscle, not just in the biceps, but in the connective tissues, right? Where the joints are, in the tendons, in the ligaments. And we need to be able to, sustain that and keep improving that, because Kali has such a high physical demand. It's a super demanding martial art, especially because we're dealing with weapons. I mean, in reality, when you're working with weapons, blades, you can't get hit, okay? You can't get hit one time. Getting hit in the face one time with a bolo, it's a game over. Getting hit in the hand one time with a bolo, it's game over. Okay, getting stabbed in the face one time with a knife, I mean, maybe, but I mean, for the most part, 99.99999% of us and the time of us, it's game over. So we really, Kali has such a high risk and physical demand when we're looking at the context of it, okay? So I want to share with you a few exercises that I have in my weekly routine that I do. This, I know, is not the most popular topic when it comes to Kali. On my other channel, on the Kali Center main channel, everybody skips these videos. But I'm telling you right now, this is one of the primary game changers in my Kali, is making sure that I'm focusing on my fitness, but not just doing anything, okay? Not just doing anything. I want to share with you like 4 exercises that I do specifically for Kali, and then also do a really quick explanation of why they're important, why they're effective for this art. All right, that's super long intro, way longer than I want them to be for this channel.
All right, first up is kettlebell swings. And there's some different variations here. You've got your double hand swing, and then you also got your one arm swing. And the one arm swing is the one that I'm really after. But if you don't have that one down, then it's good to warm up or first start off with the double arm swing. What makes the kettlebell swing so powerful for Kali is the entire connective chain, the whole posterior chain of the body, from the heels up the calves, up the hamstrings, all the way into the glutes, the whole posterior chain, right, the pelvis, the back, all the way up into the shoulders, and even into the grip. Everything, when you're working with kettlebells, gets worked together, connected. And working with kettlebells just gets you stronger so much faster. And it's building strength in your body through that connectivity. I include kettlebells in my workouts at least 3 times per week. And every time I work out with them, I aim for at least 100 swings. Now, there are a numerous amount of kettlebell exercises that benefit Kali, but the swing is a great place to start. And it's really important to be able to manipulate weight, because we're manipulating the weapons, so you have that direct translation right out of the gate. Pull-ups is the king exercise when it comes to Kali. All slashes and thrusts are initiated through a pulling mechanic. I know, seems weird, right? But pulling energy gives you far more control over the accuracy and precision of your weapon and the control of your body. especially as you need to generate more momentum. Now, if you can't quite get some pull-ups yet, that's okay. Doing different variations of rows is very good, especially ring rows. This exercise will still work a tremendous amount of pulling power. And due to the instability of the rings or the vertical of pull-ups, you get great core activation as well. And a strong core means strong Kali. Good regression for this exercise, if you're just getting started with it, is to make sure that your body is on a greater angle. So you want your torso to be higher than your legs, and that makes this exercise a little bit easier or more entry level. Then over time, you can gradually work on getting your body and your legs more parallel to the ground, making this exercise more challenging. Okay, I'm gonna put two exercises together here. The first one is push-ups. Of course, we definitely want to have pushing power in our Kali, but I mostly use pushing exercises like this to antagonize the pulling muscles, meaning that the pushing power will then support the pulling power as you are striking your weaponry. Again, if you're just starting out in your fitness for Kali, then doing incline push-ups is a great regression, as this variation reduces the load. Training the antagonistic muscles to the pulling will also help to greatly reduce risk of strain, muscle strain in your striking, and also overuse injuries. The bear crawl is another great exercise for that pushing strength and that pushing power. This movement will get your shoulders strong as well as your hands even stronger. Primal movements like this one have been a major player in my weekly fitness routines for Kali. Not only do they get you a lot stronger, but they also improve mobility all throughout the body. These types of primal movements also improve overall coordination and proprioception. Just remember that the bear crawl is a contralateral motion, meaning when stepping with the right hand, you step with the left foot. When stepping with the left hand, you step with the right foot. I know it's weird, but just give it a try. This exercise is not a strength one. It's a pure movement mobility one, coming down into a deep squat and then twisting to reach all the way up to the sky. This is all about spinal rotation. Look, all the pulling strength and the pushing strength, it all matters, but it matters nothing if there's no spinal rotation. To throw a baseball, you need spinal rotation. To kick a soccer ball, you need spinal rotation. To hit a tennis ball, you need spinal rotation. Just like swinging a bolo or Kali stick, you need spinal rotation. Now, if you cannot get down into a primal squat, here is a regression version of this exercise that you can do. It is even okay if you cannot reach the ground with your hand, just get as low as you can. It's all about building the progression within the spinal rotation. Smoother rotation in the spine is going to mean faster and more powerful strikes. Of course, nothing is going to replace putting in the reps of striking with all the proper striking mechanics. However, the previous exercises are going to drastically help to improve your striking ability. This is done through the combination of making your body stronger, but also more mobile. Now remember that speed and power mean nothing without precision and accuracy. Begin where you need to, build your body, while putting in the time and reps to mastering your striking mechanics.
Hit the thumbs up button if you're gonna put in the work, or leave me a comment below. Nah, that's too much work for me. That's too hard. Let me know either way if you're really gonna do this stuff. Because like I said, this is the difference, man. These are the little things that make the biggest difference in this art. Subscribe, share this channel with some of your buddies that you wanna do some training with. So that way, not just your game is getting elevated, but their collie is getting elevated too. So that way you and your training partners can continue pushing each other's growth. All right, I'll catch you back here in the next one.